All right, you guessed it. Today we're talking all about bowls. So a while back on my Instagram, I posted this montage of all of these bowls that I have been eating on my weight loss journey. And someone said, Jen, you should make a video all about these. And I thought, yes, that is a great idea. So that is what we're going to go over today. I've lost 20 pounds in the last 6 months. And one of the ways that I have been doing that is making these delicious combinations of food. The first thing we want to talk about is what the anatomy of a bowl is. Right? So first you need a base. This could be either greens or rice, noodles, grains, or beans. After that, you need some type of protein. So you could use chicken, beef, tofu, fish, or shrimp. After that, you need some type of vegetables. So this could be, again, lettuce, corn, tomatoes, cabbage, cucumber, carrots, onions, whatever you like. And then for a sauce, this is definitely a must-have to really flavor your bowl. And then this is optional, but a lot of times I like to add some type of crunch. So this could be either tortilla chips or nuts or seeds or even some type of pickle or radish. Okay, so first up, I'm going to show you a falafel bowl. So I actually had these falafel in my freezer. These are pre-made, but if you're looking for a version that you can make yourself, you can make them by scratch, but actually I find the Trader Joe's falafel mix to be really good. So I would recommend that, but I'm just flattening these out and putting them in a nonstick skillet with a little bit of cooking spray. Traditionally, these would be fried, and I will say they are a little bit more delicious that way. But if you're watching your calories, they are definitely almost just as good if you either put them in the air fryer. I would spray them with a little nonstick spray first, or you can kind of toast them up in a skillet like I'm doing here. After you take them out, make sure that you sprinkle them with some salt while they're still warm, and then you can use them to build your bowl. I also find that these work really well for meal prep. So that's another thing that I try to do is when I'm making things kind of during the week or even on the weekend, I'll make extras so that I can have items meal prepped to put together quick bowls during the week. So these will stay good in the fridge for probably 5 days, and you can eat them cold, or you can heat them back up in the microwave or the air fryer, whatever you'd like. But for this particular bowl, I just put some greens on the bottom. I have some Kalamata olives, some cucumbers, tomatoes, my falafel. I have some tzatziki sauce, some fresh dill, and some pita, and this was super, super delicious. Highly recommend this. You could also make this with rice. You could put some chickpeas in there. Definitely tons of options. All right, so we can't talk about bowls without talking about Green Chef. They're actually sponsoring today's video, so thank you to them. I've been working with them for a long time here on my channel, and Green Chef is a CCOF certified organic company, and they have options for every lifestyle, including keto and paleo, vegan, vegetarian, fast and fit, Mediterranean, and gluten-free. I just wanted to show you some of my recipe cards from the last month that I've gotten. Of course, many bowls on here. Thai-style coconut shrimp soup, shrimp and bacon squash noodle bowls, pesto salmon over kale and creamy white beans. And this is the one that we're gonna make today, the cheesy pesto chicken bowls. I love that Green Chef has so many options to choose from. They really just like take the mental energy out of grocery shopping and the whole what's for dinner thing when you can't figure out what to make. And I love that they have a new protein packed option, which is something that I have really focused on with the boxes that I've gotten recently. It just gives me a bunch more new ideas and different flavors to try. The doorstep delivery allows you to skip the grocery store, while pre-portioned ingredients and pre-made sauces make cooking a snap on busy weeknights. They also now have breakfast and lunch options, so if you guys haven't tried those, I highly, highly recommend them. I made like a bacon, egg, and cheese flatbread a couple weekends ago that was absolutely delicious, so I cannot wait to try more of those. But if you guys want to try Green Chef, you know that I highly recommend them. I've been using them for a long time just to make my life easier when I'm trying to eat better and cook for my family as a busy working mom. So you can use my code JenChapin60 to get 60% off, plus you're gonna get free shipping on your first box. You can go to greenchef.com for more details. I'll have a link in the pinned comment and in the description box below. And you can even tap on the screen right here to go and take advantage of that deal as well. Highly recommend. I know that you'll find something that you and your family will love. I have my chicken breast here on a baking sheet lined with foil, and I just seasoned it on both sides with the seasoning they provided and salt and pepper. I'm gonna pop this in the oven. I took the zucchini and I spiralized it just using a spiralizer I had on hand. You don't have to do that. You could chop it up or do like the ribbons with a peeler in the picture like they said, but I'm gonna go ahead and saute this in a pan with some salt and pepper. And then I also chopped up the tomato and mixed that with the balsamic vinaigrette and some salt and pepper. Sauteing the zucchini, it's almost done. And then I removed the chicken from the oven. I added some pesto, some cheese, and a little bit of this smoked salt, which smells delicious, and I'll pop this back in the oven. So here's my completed bowl. So I've got the zucchini noodles in the bottom, the chicken on top with the tomatoes, and garnished with green onions. Does it look like the picture? Kind of does, right? That's really good. Highly recommend this. You'll see that I pre-cut the chicken before I put it in the bowl. That is a secret to a good bowl, is cutting everything up so you can get like a little bit of everything. But yeah, highly recommend Green Chef. And if you see this on the menu, definitely get it in your box. I'll have that discount code and link down below, so make sure you visit. Okay, so another one of my favorite bowls to make is a burger bowl. And normally when I make burgers for my family, I will make several extra so that I can have these for leftovers and make them for lunches during the week. So typically when I make my burgers, I do try to use the leanest ground beef that I can find. I am using, I think, 93% lean in this particular example, but I put my ground beef in a bowl and I mixed it up with some seasonings, some Worcestershire sauce. You could also put some A1 steak sauce in there, stir it up with a fork, and then I like to flatten out my burger patties in between a couple pieces of waxed paper. If you've never tried this before, it's really the easiest way that I have found to make them the same thickness, and especially if you're going to be cooking them in a skillet indoors like I am these, you want them to be fairly thin so that they will cook evenly. I'm just going to spray my skillet with a little bit of avocado oil spray. This is one of my favorites. Put my burgers in there, and those just cook for about 3 to 4 minutes per side until they are done to your liking. I also sliced up some tomatoes. This is a great way to kind of make dinner for your family, and then everyone can kind of have what they want. Some people can have their burger on a bun if they want, or they could have it in a bowl or maybe in a lettuce wrap. You can see those are cooking up quite nicely. Cook them probably over medium. I wouldn't go much higher than medium, or they tend to burn on the outside before they cook on the inside. I also sliced up some onions, some lettuce, pickles, mayo, ketchup, and mustard. And here is how I had mine. I just put the burger on a bed of lettuce, and on top I have my pickles and tomatoes and ketchup, mustard, and a little bit of mayo. I really don't even miss the bun when I eat these. They are really, really good. I also am just wanting to show you kind of how I do this as leftovers as well. So I'll have the patties, in the fridge. I take them out, just put them on a paper plate and heat them up in the microwave for a little bit, just until they're warmed through. And then I will put a couple slices of American cheese on there, chop up the burger, and add it to my bowl along with all of the toppings. And this makes a great quick lunch, leftover, super healthy and delicious. I also wanted to mention a few cookbooks that I have that feature bowls. This one is by America's Test Kitchen. I really recommend it. It's got a ton of great recipes in it. I always love America's Test Kitchen cookbooks. They never fail me. So I'll link all of these down below. Another one is the Complete Salad Cookbook by America's Test Kitchen. This one isn't specifically for bowls, but it does have quite a few recipes for really good dressings in it that you can use. And then this is a newer cookbook that I got called Simple and Satisfying. This is by Nikki over at the YouTube channel Nikki Gets Fit. If you guys don't watch her, I definitely recommend her channel if you're looking for weight loss content. She also shares a ton of great recipes, so I'll link her channel along with her cookbook down below. Next up, I'm going to share with you how I make barbecue chicken salad bowls. So this is another great way that you can cook for your family. And then if you yourself, like me, I'm on a weight loss journey, I can kind of modify this for my own dinner during the week. But what I like to do is I take my chicken breasts and I season them with a barbecue rub, and then I'll put them in a Ziploc bag, stick them in the fridge just so the seasoning has a little bit of time to flavor the chicken. After that, you can saute them in a nonstick skillet with a little bit of cooking spray, and then I just have like an 8x8 dish that I put some barbecue sauce in the bottom of. I take the warm chicken breast directly from the skillet and put them in the barbecue sauce so that it has time to kind of start flavoring the chicken. And then if the chicken breasts aren't cooked through yet, you can cover this with some foil and stick it in the oven to finish cooking. Otherwise, if your chicken breasts are cooked, just let them rest in the sauce for a little bit. And this is always the way that I make barbecue chicken breasts, and everyone loves it. For this particular bowl, I used greens as a base. I also added some ranch dressing, some cilantro, beans, corn, some bagel chips that I had on hand, and some green onion and a little bit of shredded cheese. This tastes exactly like the California Pizza Kitchen barbecue chicken salad, which is delicious. Next up, we have a buffalo chicken bowl. So this one is super simple. It's just shredded rotisserie chicken that I heated up and I tossed with some Frank's Red Hot. I topped it with a little bit of cheese, and then I have it in a bowl with some lettuce, ranch, blue cheese, and tomatoes and cucumbers. So good. Definitely super low calorie and really filling. Okay, so I want to talk a minute about breakfast bowls. So actually, my husband kind of like makes fun of me. It's all in good fun. After I posted that Instagram reel, and he's like, "Oh, are you eating your meal out of a bowl? Does it taste better that way?" And I'm like, "Yes, of course it tastes better in a bowl." But this is something that I have frequently for breakfast on the weekends, even during the week, especially when I'm making a big batch of scrambled eggs for my family. I will do this as well. So I'm just taking my eggs and I'm beating them up in a dish. I'm going to go ahead and scramble those, but I'm also frying up some potatoes with some Lowry seasoning salt. And then I just have my scrambled eggs in a bowl with the hash browns and about half a cup of cottage cheese for some extra protein and a slice of bacon. This is one of my favorite breakfasts. If you've never tried it before, I highly recommend it. And then I also wanted to share a couple of options that I found online, but I haven't made them yet. So let me know if you've tried these. The first one is a breakfast salad. And let me tell you, this looks so delicious. I might actually be making it this weekend. And then the other one I have tried by Skinny Taste is a savory cottage cheese bowl. If you like cottage cheese, these are so good. It's basically a base of cottage cheese with a bunch of veggies and seeds on top. So good. Okay, so next up, Tex-Mex bowls. If you guys watch my channel, you know that I love Tex-Mex food. I make it all the time. I'm probably making something taco or fajita or whatever flavored at least a couple times a week because I never get tired of it. But I'm just going to kind of show you how I prep a few things to make easy bowls for lunches during the week. So here I have some chicken breasts. I'm just seasoning those with taco seasoning. If your taco seasoning has salt, you don't need to add salt, but if it doesn't, then go ahead and add some salt as well. I have a nonstick skillet with a little bit of avocado oil spray, and I'm just going to add those chicken breasts to the skillet. I often find that different proteins, when you add them to bowls, have kind of a different texture and taste depending on how you cut them, right? So shredded chicken is going to kind of be a different taste and texture than chicken that you grill or saute up and cut into strips. Personally, if I'm making chicken for like chicken fajita bowls or taco bowls, I prefer to slice it up. So I just cooked it through on both sides, and then I let it rest on a plate covered with foil until all of the juices have a chance to redistribute, just to make sure that everything's cooked through and it's nice and juicy. I slice it thin against the grain, and then I just put it in a meal prep container. And I use this throughout the week for quick bowls or salads or tacos or even quesadillas. My kids love it too. It makes great lunches for my husband. And then don't forget to take the juices that were on the plate that the chicken was resting on and pour those over the chicken. You don't want to lose that good flavor. And then just pop a lid on this, and then you got your prepped chicken for lunches during the week. Another great thing that I love to add to my taco flavored bowls is pico de gallo. Now you can buy this pre-made in the store, which I have definitely done before, but I really find that it tastes a whole lot better if you make it at home. And a lot of times I'll make a big batch on the weekend and we'll have it in the fridge all week. It's also good on tacos. It's also good with chips, but I start out with some white onion. You can use red onion if you have that as well. Chop up some jalapeno. And then I'm just going to squeeze the juice of one lime into there. The jalapeno is optional, but I find it adds a lot of good flavor, and I don't, find that it makes it super spicy at all. And then Roma tomatoes, I find that they are the best for pico just because they are a little bit sturdier and they're not so mushy. I also love to add a lot of cilantro to mine, and then I put it in a dish. I should have used a bigger bowl, famous last words, but I do season it with some salt and pepper to taste, add more lime juice if you want. And this, like I said, is just a great ingredient. I always find that if I have ingredients like this on hand prepped in my fridge, I'm just so much more likely to make healthy meals for myself throughout the week. So don't underestimate the importance of that. Next thing I often do is cook up a batch of ground beef taco meat. Obviously, this is a family favorite. I probably make tacos at least once, at least once a week, if not at least once every 2 weeks. But I'll make this and have it in the fridge so I can heat it right up for lunches. And then I like to have it in a taco salad bowl with some of these Quest protein chips. Once you get them mixed in with the salad, they really don't taste that much different than Doritos. I add some cilantro, some lettuce, some tomatoes, super yum. I also wanted to mention yogurt bowls. So there's quite a few different ways that you can do these, but I like to use a higher protein yogurt. So this Fairlife is a good example of that. If you've never tried this yogurt, it's really good if you can find it in your store. It's nice and creamy. It does not taste like a low-fat yogurt, and it has quite a good amount of protein for the serving that you get. You can put any type of fruit in here that you want. On this particular day, I just used bananas, but I like to use berries as well. And then instead of granola, I like to use the Kashi Crunch cereal. So I've tried the chocolate and the peanut butter. There's also a berry that I want to try when I can find that. But I just love the combination of like the yogurt with the fruit and the crunch of the cereal. It makes it really great. It's definitely a good breakfast or an afternoon or a bedtime snack. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is seafood bowls. And I'm just going to show you a couple different examples here. This one was a tilapia kind of succotash rice bowl that was actually a Green Chef recipe, and it was really good. So basically I sauteed up some corn with some tomatoes and some onions, and on the side I'm cooking some rice. I have some tilapia fillets and I'm just seasoning those before I cook them in a skillet. You could also prep this ahead of time. I know that it is hotly debated not to heat up fish in the microwave at work on your lunch break, but if you work from home or you just don't care, it might be a good option for you. But I went ahead and put this in a bowl with the rice and succotash mixture. Green Chef always gives really great sauces and garnishes, and this was super delicious and filling. Another great thing I like to buy is like prepped shrimp that you can cook really quickly. This is the Margaritaville version. These are just blackened shrimp. These are actually quite spicy if you've never tried them before. So I just paired it in a bowl with some rice, and I added some chopped mango to the top along with some lime juice and cilantro because I really found that the shrimp was so spicy that it needed something a little bit sweet to kind of balance it out. I didn't really have time to make a mango salsa, or I might have done that, but definitely shrimp, rice, and a fruit salsa in a bowl is delicious. Okay, so next up, I don't want to underestimate or like underscore the importance of a really good sauce or a dressing on your bowl. So a lot of times when I'm prepping my meals for the week, I'll make like a homemade dressing or some type of sauce and just have it in the refrigerator for me to use all week. This is just an example of a Green Goddess dressing that I made a while back, and it was super good. I go ahead and I cut down on the amount of olive oil that I use, and instead of using all mayo, I use some fat-free Greek yogurt. That really helps cut down on the calories. And then for Green Goddess dressing, it's great. You can use up herbs that you have laying around in your fridge. So you can use basil, dill, parsley, green onion, really a combination of whatever you have. I think I added some cilantro in there as well. And then basically you just whir it up either in the food processor or the blender. And this is so good. I actually used this for salads throughout the week. I made a copycat Panera kind of Green Goddess salad, which I'll show you in a little bit. But I used it on this night when I was actually making BLTs for my family. So I kind of had all of the ingredients for salad, right? So I had like lettuce and avocado and tomato, and I used some pickled onions and some hard-boiled eggs and some chicken that I had cooked up. I looked up the recipe, or not the recipe, but I looked on the Panera website to see what the Green Goddess salad had in it because this is one of my favorites. And I went ahead and put the dressing over it, and this was so good. It was like one of the best salads I've ever made at home, and it actually really did taste like Panera. I was pretty impressed. If you guys have had that salad, you know that it's really good. And honestly, it's pretty low calorie and it has a lot of protein from the hard-boiled eggs and the chicken. And then the last thing I want to show you is just a Greek style bowl. So you can do these a couple different ways. I've done them with rice before. In this particular example, I'm just using a bed of lettuce and cucumbers. I also had some fresh green onions on hand. Anytime you have either fresh parsley or green onion or cilantro or any fresh herbs you have, definitely throw those into your salads or your bowls. It's just going to make it taste so much better. And then I always have to have feta cheese, but I really recommend that you get a block of feta and chop it up on your own. It tastes so much better that way. And in this particular one, I also added some blackened chicken. So I had my bed of lettuce with cucumbers, tomatoes, and my feta cheese and my chicken. And I added some tzatziki sauce that I actually got this prepared from Aldi. I wouldn't say it was the best sauce that I've ever had, but it was definitely passable, and it was better than having to make my own. And I basically just used it instead of a dressing. So I put 2 servings worth on the top of my bowl and I just mixed it all together. And I was honestly surprised at how good this was. I don't know why I was surprised. I was thinking, oh, it's just going to be like meh, but I ended up finishing the whole thing. It was so good, super low calorie because of all the veggies in there and good protein from the chicken. Don't forget to check out Green Chef. I'll have that link and discount code down below. And if you want to see my last What I Eat in a Week when I lost 4 pounds, you can click on the video right here and I'll see you over there.